In previous class, we discussed about the supremum and the infimum of a set and number of its properties. Now, the completeness property of set of reals. The first one, supremum property. Supremum property. Supremum property means let S be a non-empty set, non-empty subset of set of reals which is bounded above, then it has a supremum. Means the supremum property states that every non-empty set of real numbers which is bounded above has its supremum. Let S be a non-empty subset of set of reals. If S is bounded above, then S has supremum. Then S has supremum. This is the supremum property. Similarly, every non-empty subset of set of reals which is bounded below has infimum. Means let S1 be a non-empty subset of R which is bounded below, then S has an infimum. So this is the completeness property of set of reals. That is supremum property and the infimum property. Now let us discuss an important theorem. It is known as Archimedean property. Archimedean property. Archimedean property. So the statement of Archimedean property is, if x fall in R, x is any real number, then there exists an nx fall in n. Nx is a natural number such that x less than nx. Such that x less than x. This is the Archimedean property. For any real number x, there exists a natural number nx such that x strictly less than nx. This property is said to be, this is a well-known property that is known as Archimedean property. So how to prove? Archimedean property is proved by using the following arguments. Suppose it is not true. Suppose this Archimedean property does not exist. Suppose it is not true. Then not true. That means there exists x fall in R such that x greater than or equals nx, where nx fall in n. If it is not true, means there exists a real number x such that x greater than or equals nx for all nx fall in n. Now means x greater than or equals nx for all nx fall in n means n is bounded above. N is bounded above. So by the completeness property of R, or by the completeness property, then or the supremum property, n has supremum. Means supremum of n exists. Supremum n exists. So let u equals supremum of n. Let u equals supremum of n. Since u is supremum of n, then what about u minus 1? U minus 1 is not an upper bound. Not an upper bound of n. Why? Because u be the supremum, least upper bound. So u minus 1 is not an upper bound of n. Therefore, there exists a natural number m such that u minus 1 strictly less than m. U minus 1, since u minus 1 is not an upper bound, then there exists a natural number m such that u minus 1 strictly less than m. U minus 1 strictly less than m means u strictly less than 1 plus m means m plus 1. Since m is a natural number, m plus 1 is also m plus 1 is also a natural number with a u strictly less than 1 plus m. That means u strictly less than 1 plus m fallen n, that means u is not an upper bound for n. Agreed by the definition of upper bounds. So u is not an upper bound of n, that's a contradiction to the choice of n, so choice of u where u is supreme of n. This contradiction is due to our wrong assumption. Hence, there exists for all x of n R, there exists a natural number nx such that x strictly less than nx. This is the proof of Archimedean property. Choose u is supreme of n, u minus 1 is not an upper bound, then there exists a natural number m with a u less than 1 plus m, so u is not an upper bound. That is the contradiction. Okay. This is the proof of Archimedean property. Now, consider another result, which is nothing but the corollary of this Archimedean property. It's a first corollary. Let S equals set of all 1 by n, where n is a natural number. Set of all 1 by n, where n is a natural number. Then infimum of s. Then infimum of s equals 0. Let s equals set of all 1 by n, where n is a natural number. Then infimum of s equals 0. So how? So, according to the construction of this is s equals set of all 1 by n, where n fallen n means s is bounded below. Clearly, s is bounded below. What about the set? The set means s equals set of all 1 by n, where n is a natural number, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, etc. So s is yes. So clearly s is bounded below, it has a lower bound. Clearly it is bounded below, and let 0 be a lower bound of 0 be a lower bound of s. 0 be a lower bound of s. Since it is bounded below, then by the infimum property, then infimum of s should be exist. Infimum of s is exist. Let infimum of s equals some lambda, say. Infimum of s equals lambda. Then 0 be a lower bound of s. Let lambda be an infimum of s. Then clearly, then 0 less than or equals lambda. Okay. Since 0 be a lower bound of s, and let us assume that lambda be the infimum of such s, then 0 less than or equals lambda. Now, let epsilon is positive. Choose a smallest positive number, epsilon. Then since what is Archimedean property? Then by Archimedean property, epsilon is positive, there exists some n fallen natural number. N means n is a natural number such that 1 by epsilon strictly less than n. Since epsilon is positive, so 1 by epsilon is also positive quantity. Agree? Epsilon is positive, 1 by epsilon is also a positive quantity, means 1 by epsilon, then by Archimedean property, 1 by epsilon is a real number. There exists some nx, means n fallen n, such that 1 by epsilon strictly less than n by Archimedean property. 1 by epsilon strictly less than n means what about 1 by n? 1 by n strictly less than epsilon. So that means 0 less than or equals lambda from here. 0 less than or equals lambda. But what about lambda? Lambda be the infimum of s. Then by the choice of s, this lambda less than or equals 1 by n. So it is strictly less than epsilon. Agreed? Why this lambda less than or equals 1 by n? Lambda be the super infimum of s, and s is considered as s is set of all 1 by n, where n falling n. So surely lambda less than or equals 1 by n. The 0 less than or equals lambda less than or equals 1 by n less than epsilon. That means 0 less than or equals lambda less than or equals epsilon. 0 less than or equals lambda less than or equals epsilon or less than epsilon, that means, what's your conclusion? Epsilon is a sufficiently small positive quantity, so 0 less than or equals lambda less than epsilon means lambda equals 0. What is lambda? Lambda means infimum of S, that means infimum of S equals 0. Okay, right. Now, using this Archimedean property, we prove another result, that is next corollary. Come to the second corollary. If t positive, if t greater than 0, there exists nt falling in, there is a natural number nt such that 0 less than 1 by nt less than epsilon. 0 less than 1 by nt less than t. 0 less than 1 by epsilon less than t. If t is positive, then there exists nt falling in such that 0 less than 1 by nt less than t. How? So, by the previous argument, if you construct S equals set of all 1 by n, where n fall in n, then what about this? Its infimum? Infimum of S equals 0. This is already proved. By the above corollary, we know that infimum of, that means we know that infimum of set of all 1 by n, where n fall in n equals 0. Okay. If t positive is given, if t is positive, t positive means t is not a lower bound. So t is not a lower bound. Since t is positive, t is not a lower bound of the constructed set, so t is not a lower bound, means there exists some nt fallen n by Archimedean property. There exists nt fallen n such that 1 by nt strictly less than t. 1 by nt strictly less than t, and infimum of this one is 0, that means 0 less than 1 by nt strictly less than t. So by this again by using Archimedean property. Okay. Again, by using this Archimedean property, we prove another result. Come to the next corollary. Corollary third. If y is positive, if y greater than 0, there exists a natural number ny such that, ny fallen in such that ny minus 1 less than or equals y strictly less than ny. Third result. If y greater than 0, there exists a natural number ny such that ny minus 1 less than or equals y strictly less than ny. So its proof is done by, let A equals, construct a set A equals set of all m fallen n, set of all natural numbers m such that y strictly less than m. You can construct a set A equals set of all m fallen n such that y strictly less than m. So that means, what about A? A is a subset of n. A is a subset of n. Clearly, A is non-empty. A is non-empty. Why this A is non-empty? A is set of all natural numbers with a y strictly less than m. Then clearly A is a subset of n. Surely, A is non-empty by the construction of A. Let what is ny? There exists a natural number ny. So let ny be a least element of A. Let ny be a least element of A. Since ny presents in A, by the choice of this A, then y less than ny. ny less than ny fallen a, that means what is a? A equals set of all m fallen n such that y less than m. Since ny fallen a, then it is y less than ny. By the choice of, because by the choice of e. By the choice of e. Ny fallen a, when ny fallen a means ny fallen n, so with the y less than m, so ny fallen a means ny fallen set of all ny fallen n such that y is strictly less than n. Also, what is ny? Ny be the least element of e. Since ny be the least element of e, ny minus 1 is strictly outside of e. Why? Because of the choice of ny be the least element of e, clearly ny minus 1 is strictly outside of e. Ny minus 1 is strictly outside of e means y greater than or equals ny minus 1. Why? Because any element in a, you can construct a in such a way that a equals set of all m fallen n with a y less than m. And an element which is outside of a means y should greater than or equals n by minus 1. So combines. Here y is y greater than or equals y greater than or equals n by minus 1, and ny fallen a means y less than ny. So combines these two results. So what do you get? Ny minus 1 less than or equals y strictly less than n. Okay. Choose a with a set of all natural numbers m with a y less than n. Clearly, a is a part of n, a is a subset of n, and a is non-empty. Let ny be the least element of a. So surely ny be the least element of a means ny presence in a. So clearly y less than ny. Clearly, since ny be the least element, ny minus 1 is strictly outside of a. That means by the construction of a, y greater than or equals ny minus 1. So combines that root two results, ny minus 1 less than equals y strictly less than n. Okay. So this is the Archimedean property, and some of the results are related to this Archimedean property. Archimedean property is an important result. Now let us discuss about the density theorem. Density theorem. Density theorem. What is density theorem? The statement is, let x comma y are real numbers, then there exists a rational number r following q, rational number r, such that x less than r less than y. This is the density theorem. Actually, there are density theorem of rational numbers and density theorem of irrational numbers. This is the density theorem of rational numbers. Means that x and y fall in R such that there exists a rational number r with a x less than r less than y. That is, between any two real numbers, there exists a rational number. The density theorem of rational number is restated as, between any two real numbers, there exists a rational number. How to prove? So this proof is in this way. Let x greater than 0. X and y are real numbers. Choose x is a positive number, and x less than y. Choose x greater than 0 and choose x greater than 0 and x less than y. X less than y means, what about y minus x? Y minus x is positive. Okay. Then by Archimedean property, 1 by y minus x is positive means, also what about 1 by y minus x? That is also positive. Then by Archimedean property, there exists a natural number n such that 1 by y minus x strictly less than n. 1 by y minus x strictly less than n means 1 strictly less than ny minus nx by the cross multiplication. So 1 less than ny minus nx, that means 1 plus nx strictly less than ny. 1 plus nx strictly less than ny. Since x is positive, what about nx? N is a natural number, so nx is always positive. Since x is positive, n is a natural number, then nx is positive. Then, by the previous argument, what is the previous corollary? If y is positive, there exists a ny fallen n such that, yes, if y positive, there exists a ny fallen n such that, yes, ny minus 1 less than or equals y strictly less than ny. By using this corollary, since nx is positive, there exists a natural number m such that m minus 1 less than or equals nx strictly less than m. M minus 1 less than or equals nx strictly less than m. So consider the left side inequality. That means m minus 1 less than or equals nx. Means m less than or equals 1 plus nx. M less than or equals 1 plus nx, but 1 plus nx less than ny. So what do you get? 1 plus nx less than ny, because from here, so that means m strictly less than ny, or m less than or equals m strictly less than ny. That means nx less than m, nx less than m, and m less than ny. Consider the right side inequality. Nx less than m and m less than ny combines, what do you get? Nx less than m less than ny, so it is nx less than m less than ny. Okay, nx less than m less than ny combines. Nx less than m and m less than ny, so it is nx less than m less than ny. That means x less than m by n less than y. So what is m by n? M is a natural number, n is again a natural number, so m by n is nothing but a rational number. M is a natural number, n is a natural number, so m by n equals some rational number. That means x less than r less than y. So this is the density theorem of rational numbers. So this is the density theorem is an important result. That is between any two real numbers there exists a